Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Speak English with Luna. I am so incredibly happy that you decided to press play today. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling ready to learn because today's topic is something we all need. We are talking about the minimalist morning routine.
It's a pleasure to be here, Luna. Hello to everyone listening. It's a beautiful day to talk about slowing down.
It really is, Samuel. And listeners, I have a little surprise or maybe a challenge for you today. We are going to start this conversation very slowly and clearly. This is our B1 level. It's comfortable, right? But as we talk more, the English is going to get a little bit faster and use more complex words. We'll move into B2 and even some C1 vocabulary by the end. My challenge to you is this. Stay with us until the very last second. Even if it feels difficult later, don't turn it off. Can you do that for me?
That's a great challenge, Luna. Language learning is very much like a morning routine. It's about showing up, even when the words feel a bit heavy or the sentences feel a bit long.
Exactly. So, Samuel, let's dive in. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is grab their phone. They check emails, they check the news, they check social media. Their brain is on immediately. Why is a minimalist routine different?
Well, Luna, most people start their day in a state of reaction. They are reacting to the world's problems before they even have a cup of water. A minimalist routine is about action, not reaction. It's about doing fewer things, but doing them with more intention.
Action, not reaction. I love that. When I was younger, I used to think a routine meant a list of 20 different things. I had to meditate, then run, then cook a big breakfast, then write in a journal. I was exhausted before 8 a.m.
And that is the trap, isn't it? We try to optimize our lives so much that we create more stress. Minimalism in the morning is about stripping away the shoulds and finding the musts.
We're going to help you find those musts today while we level up your English. Stay with us because we are just getting started. Samuel is going to share his specific 3-step minimalist start. Ready? Let's go. Before we go any further, I want to take a moment to speak directly to you, the listener. If you are feeling a bit overwhelmed because English is your second or third language, please just take a deep breath with me. You are in a safe space here. Samuel and I are not here to judge your grammar or your vocabulary. We are here to walk beside you, like two friends having a quiet coffee in the morning.
That's right, Luna. Learning is a journey, and every journey needs a resting place. Think of this podcast as your morning sanctuary. It doesn't matter if you don't understand every single syllable or every complex idiom we might use later. What matters is the connection and the consistency. The minimalism we are talking about today applies to your learning process too. You don't need to learn 10,000 words today to be successful. You just need to be present with the ideas we are sharing right now.
That is so true. I remember when I first started my own language journey, I used to get so frustrated. I wanted to sound perfect immediately, but I realized that perfection is actually the enemy of progress. Samuel, how do you help people feel safe when they are trying to simplify their lives?
I tell them that it's okay to let go. We hold on to so much clutter, physical clutter in our homes and mental clutter in our heads. When you give yourself permission to let go of the need to be perfect or the need to do it all, a huge weight lifts off your shoulders. You can feel it in your chest, a lightness.
A lightness. I love that. So, listeners, let go of the stress. Let go of the dictionary for a moment. Just listen to the rhythm of our voices. You are doing exactly what you need to be doing. We are moving right along. Now, Samuel, I want to get into the nitty-gritty of this. You didn't always have this peaceful, minimalist approach, did you? I heard a rumor that you used to be a high-flying corporate executive in Seattle. That sounds like the opposite of minimalist.
That rumor is quite accurate, Luna. For 20 years, my mornings were a chaotic symphony of alarms, notifications, and instant stress. I used to wake up at 5 a.m., but not to meditate. I woke up to check the stock market and reply to emails from London and New York. I thought that being busy was the same thing as being productive. I was caught in a cycle of constant urgency. I was successful on paper, but internally I was bankrupt. My mind was like a browser with 50 tabs open, and I couldn't find where the music was coming from.
A browser with 50 tabs open. I think everyone listening can relate to that feeling. It's that mental clutter we talked about. So what was the turning point? What made you stop the cacophony, as you called it, and look for a simpler way?
It was a Tuesday morning. I remember it vividly. I was holding a lukewarm cup of coffee in one hand and my phone in the other. I was trying to talk to my daughter while reading a work memo. She looked at me and said, "Dad, you're here, but you're not here." It hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized I was physically present but mentally miles away. I decided right then that I needed to reclaim my morning and my life. I started by stripping everything back to the essentials.
That is such a powerful realization, to be here but not here. I think many language learners feel that too. They're trying so hard to translate every word in their head that they aren't actually present in the conversation. So, what was the turning point? What made you stop the cacophony, as you called it, and look for a simpler way?
It starts with the concept of decision fatigue. We only have a limited amount of mental energy each day. If you spend your morning deciding what to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first, and which news story to worry about, you exhaust your brain before the real work begins. A minimalist routine eliminates those trivial decisions. For me, it comes down to 3 foundational pillars: stillness, hydration, and movement.
Stillness, hydration, and movement. It sounds so simple, yet I imagine it's quite difficult to protect that time. Let's break those down. When you say stillness, are we talking about sitting in a dark room for an hour? Because I don't think my listeners have an hour to spare.
Not at all, Luna. Minimalism isn't about the quantity of time. It's about the quality of the intention. Stillness can be just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of sitting with your coffee. No phone, no music, no podcast. Just watching the light change in the room. It's about letting your thoughts settle like dust in a glass of water. When you stop stirring the water, it becomes clear.
I love that image. Letting the thoughts settle like dust. That's a B2 level metaphor right there, guys. Write that one down. And what about hydration? That seems almost too simple.
It is simple, but vital. Your brain is mostly water. After 8 hours of sleep, you are dehydrated. Drinking a tall glass of water before you touch caffeine is a way of saying thank you to your body. It wakes up your metabolism and clears the brain fog that often leads us to reach for our phones for a dopamine hit. It's a physical act of self-care that sets a tone of respect for the day.
It's like we are priming the engine before we start the race. Now, the third pillar was movement. Does this mean a grueling workout at the gym?
Again, we avoid the all-or-nothing mentality. Minimalism is about the effective dose. A 5-minute stretch, a short walk around the block, or even just standing on your balcony and breathing deeply. The goal is to inhabit your body. We spend so much time in our heads, especially when learning a language, that we forget we have a body. Moving your limbs tells your nervous system that you are safe, alert, and ready.
This is so refreshing to hear. I think many of us feel guilty if we don't have a perfect 90-minute routine. But Samuel, you're saying that 15 minutes of intentionality can change the entire trajectory of our day.
Precisely. It's the paradox of choice. When we have fewer options and fewer tasks, we actually feel more empowered. By choosing to do less, we are choosing to be more. This creates a buffer zone between waking up and the demands of the world. In that buffer zone, you are the master of your environment.
The master of your environment. That's a beautiful goal. But I have to ask, because I know what our listeners are thinking, what about the digital temptation? How do you resist the urge to check that first notification? It's like a magnet.
It is designed to be a magnet, Luna. The engineers in Silicon Valley spend billions of dollars to make sure you can't put that phone down. To fight that, you need a physical barrier.
I keep my phone in a different room overnight. I don't even see it until my 3 pillars are complete. I treat my morning like a sacred temple. You wouldn't let a shouting crowd of strangers into your bedroom the moment you wake up, would you?
Definitely not. But that's exactly what we do when we open social media. We let 1,000 strangers' opinions into our heads before we've even brushed our teeth. Wow, Samuel, this is shifting my entire perspective. Listeners, how are you doing? We are deep into the B2 territory now. Samuel's using words like trajectory, foundational, and dehydrated. If you're still here, you're doing an amazing job.
You really are. And notice how as we talk about these deeper topics, the language becomes a bit more abstract. That's okay. You don't need to translate the word trajectory to understand the feeling behind it. You're absorbing the essence of the English language.
The essence. I love that. Let's take a quick breath. When we come back, we're going to look at some of these specific words in our word tour, and I'll ask Samuel for one final piece of advice for the busy learner. Stay with us. Welcome to the Word Tour. This is the part of the show where we slow down and really look at the vocabulary that makes your English sound more sophisticated, more aspirational. Samuel, you used some incredible words earlier. Let's start with a big one, cacophony.
Ah, yes, cacophony. It's such a descriptive word, isn't it? It refers to a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Imagine 10 different radios playing 10 different stations all at once in a small room. That is a cacophony. In our modern life, the digital world creates a mental cacophony that makes it almost impossible to hear our own thoughts.
That's a powerful image. To fight that noise, we have to watch out for decision fatigue. Listeners, this is a very common term in productivity circles now. Decision fatigue is that feeling of being completely exhausted simply because you've had to make too many choices. When you decide what to wear, what to eat, and which email to answer first, you are using up your mental battery.
Which is why we need a buffer zone. Think of a buffer as a protective barrier or cushion. A buffer zone in your morning is that period of time where the world cannot reach you. It's the wall you build around your peace before the day officially begins.
I definitely need a bigger buffer zone in my life. And within that zone, we should avoid trivial matters. Trivial is a fantastic word. It means something that is of very little importance or value. Checking who liked your post from 3 years ago, that is a trivial use of your precious morning time.
Exactly. Instead, focus on what will prime the engine. To prime something means to prepare it for use or action. When you hydrate and move, you're priming your brain and body to perform at their best. You're getting the engine ready for the long road ahead.
Now it is time for our community challenge. This is my favorite part of the episode because I want to hear from you. We've talked today about stripping away the noise and focusing on the essentials. So here is your challenge for the next 24 hours. If you had to remove just one digital habit from your first 30 minutes of the day to make space for your English practice or some quiet stillness, which one would it be?
That is a profound question, Luna. I want to challenge the listeners to think deeply. Don't just pick the easiest habit to drop. Pick the one that truly clutters your mind. Is it the infinite scroll on social media or checking work emails before you've even stretched your arms?
Exactly. Share your answer with us. Let's hold each other accountable for creating that buffer zone. What is the one thing you are letting go of tomorrow morning? Well, we have reached the end of our journey today. I have a very important question for you. Did you make it? Did you stay with us until the very last second? If you are hearing my voice right now, you did it. You navigated from clear B1 English all the way into the complex world of C1 vocabulary, like cacophony and buffer zones. That is an incredible achievement. You didn't just learn English today, you practiced the discipline of listening. Samuel, any final words of encouragement for our amazing listeners?
It truly is an achievement. Language, like life, is about being intentional. Thank you for letting me share this space with you today. Remember, your morning is your own. It is a sacred space. Protect it with all your heart, and the rest of your day will follow suit.
Thank you so much, Samuel, for your wisdom.
Listeners, if you found value in today's episode, please subscribe and share this with a friend who needs a little more peace in their morning. Don't forget to check our community page to answer the challenge. I'm Luna, and this has been Speak English with Luna. Keep practicing, keep breathing, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.